Hey, this is Ryan. I am a data engineer at FourKube, and today what I want to show you is a backtest to show you how our stock algorithm would have performed in the past to see how much money it would have made in the past. So, for those of you who are not familiar with FourKube, what we do in a nutshell is we make stock predictions with AI, post them on Instagram, and then the following day we show you those results. And this happens every single day because all of our predictions are for just 24 hours. So, just for a quick example, here's the last $1,000 challenge that we just completed. So it started, mid-April and then finished a month and a half-ish later, in the early of June. We started with $1,000, and you can see from each day the market was open how that $1,000 changed. At the end, we were up about 8%, and we have all of the, the proof here of the stocks that we bought, the buying price, selling price. You can scroll down through time to see how that progressed. Anyway, I have another video about how we post on Instagram and how you can follow us if you want to check that out. This video is about the backtest. So before we get into the backtest, what you need to understand is our data set and the format of it so you can understand the backtest. So the way we get our data is we get publicly traded companies and get their quarterly earnings and how much their stock price changed in that 24-hour period. So every row in this data set, which is very long, is a stock and in a certain quarter. So you start with quarter 4, quarter 1, and how much that stock price changed during that quarterly release in that 24-hour period. So you see a lot of these numbers are really big, like 24%, 10%, 13%, 3%, which are big movements for a single day. And this happens because when a stock releases its quarterly earnings, it's releasing financial statements and other things of that nature that investors get that significantly usually changes their stock price. So in column B here, you can see all the stocks. In column C, you can see how much that stock changed in that 24-hour period. And then in stock D, it has the date. So all this data we've been scraping on stocks happened since December 31st of 2019. So if you scroll down, you got January, February, March, April, May, June, and there's 2,283 rows, and we have all this ton of data on all of them, okay? So before we run our back test, I just want to make a point that this data we have is a quote-unquote loser's market, which in a nutshell means if you're randomly picking stocks or if you're just buying all the stocks, you're going to lose money because if we added up all of these percentages, a lot of positive, negative ones, but if we added all of them and divided by how many there were, it would be a negative number. And I actually did that here where I printed them all out, copied them, and used this really cool website called Visual Code that just helps you visualize your code. I'll have if you're interested in Python or Java, because it does both, if you're interested in learning that, or you want to visualize your code, I'll have this website in the description because it's a new website that just came out recently that really helps you visualize your code. Anyway, so here is the list of all those percentages that I had, right? And then you can see if I added up all of them, it's a negative 900 value. And again, the length of it is over 2,000. And then I got the average. So on average, the stocks were down by around like half a percentage point, which again means you'll see here, because I made a script about it, that if you're buying stocks randomly or if you're buying all of them in this data set, you're going to lose money. But our model does not. And that's why we are very excited about it. So to the scripts and the actual backtesting. So we have 3 scripts here. The first one is we just buy every single one. So if you code, if true means you just buy it executes every time. So we're buying all the stocks. Then in the second script, we have random buys. So we have this random number that's either going to be a 1 or 2. It's picked randomly. And then if it's 1, we will buy it. So it's again just randomly buying and selling stocks. We'll see how that performs. And then finally, in the third one, we have our best model that we all collectively have made at FourKube. So we'll go ahead and run those. I'll open up my terminal. Clear. And then let's go ahead and run it. So I'll write Python 3. And then the one that buys everything, that script is called buy everything. So if I execute that, you see in all the recommendations as it's running, it just keeps buying. Now let this finish executing, and then I'll explain kind of what happened. So if we scroll back up to the top, so here's the top. The first stock it bought was down 6%. Okay, because it's buying everything again. So it lost $62. This overall profit started with 0, and as you can see, as we keep scrolling, it kind of goes up and down, but it keeps going more and more strongly negative, as we're buying every single one. And then here you can see, the date that these things happened at, and then the percent return they give and the profit. Okay, so that's the first one. Next, let's run the random one, which is called random buys. So here you see it's not buying every single one, but it's randomly buying different ones. But still, you're seeing the profit is falling fast. Not quite as fast, but it's still falling very fast. It's just buying randomly, not buying. And then finally, let's show our actual model. Our best model. That's what that file is called. So in this one, you see our profit is going up, even though this is a loser's market. So here, it's buying very infrequently. If the dash means, it's not doing anything, so you see the profit is 0 when there's just a dash. And then when it says buy, this one it lost money, you see, but over here it made money, and overall you can see in this column here that it made money. And you can see this by, so the ones in the prediction column mean we're predicting a buy, and actual means whether or not it actually went up by 4% or more. So, in a nutshell, it makes money, and that's why we're really excited about this. And in the back here, you can see a little bit more data that we use for statistical purposes. And also, if you're really into statistics, we have this middle column here that shows more stats about confusion matrix and like more data on all the features and stocks here and whatnot. But if you're not into stats, don't worry about that. The point is, we're starting a brand new model this coming Monday, a new $1,000 challenge. We're excited for you guys to trade with us, follow our algorithm. We're improving it every day because we're web scraping new data every day. As you see in this data set, we use AI and other statistical methods to make our predictions. We have a ton of different things, like different rankings from professional experts. We have market sentiment analysis, where we're looking at sentiment of headlines, like stock headlines. We're having all that, and to be a feature as well. We have the industry, the sector, the PE, the price, the dividends, the return on all this stuff, the performance for all different time periods, the volatility, a whole bunch of other stuff. And all this, once again, is going in our machine learning AI model. We try out a lot of different ones. It's changing all the time, but we have a brand new one that we're really excited about. And we just want to thank you guys for being with us during this journey. We're really excited, and we hope to see you out there. And best of luck to you guys on your trades this week. Thanks.